Have you ever climbed up the ladder to the very top of a tall playground slide, and you look down at the ground way below you, and you feel that little flutter in your tummy?
Oh, yeah. That classic slide feeling.
Right. You sit down, you scoot forward to the edge, and then, you just let go. The wind rushes past your ears, and you go sliding down to the bottom. It is just such a fun feeling.
It really is. I mean, your stomach drops just a little bit. And for a few seconds, you get to feel what it's like to just let gravity pull you along.
Exactly.
And we expect that thrilling ride to end safely, usually in a patch of soft sand or maybe some of those bouncy rubber wood chips.
We do. We totally expect a slide to work the way a slide is supposed to work.
Yeah.
But today we are doing a deep dive into a really fantastic storybook that takes that everyday playground feeling and, well, it turns it into a giant jungle adventure.
A really big adventure.
Yeah. So our mission today is to explore this book, which is all about the animals of Splasheroo Falls. And we want to see what happens when a slide doesn't go exactly as planned.
Right. We're looking at some sneaky science, a massive water slide, and a very brave elephant.
Because I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you were a giant elephant wearing a bright banana yellow swimsuit, and you were going down a water slide faster than anyone else has ever gone?
I mean, that changes the situation completely. That tiny kid on a plastic slide is one thing, but a massive elephant on a giant water slide, that introduces a whole new set of physical challenges.
It really does. So let's set the scene based on the incredible illustrations in this book. It is the biggest event of the summer in this jungle. It's the Elephant Water Slide Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the book paints this picture of the most colorful, noisy sports stadium you can imagine, but it's entirely made out of the jungle itself. Like monkeys are swinging from vines and climbing up to the highest branches of the canopy just to get front row seats.
Well, they want a bird's eye view of the action, right?
Yeah.
Sitting up high lets them see the entire path of the slide from the very top all the way down to the splash pool at the bottom.
Right. Right.
Right.
And there are brightly colored parrots perched on the branches, waving tiny little flags. And down in the river below the trees, a bunch of hippos are floating in the cool water, just, blowing bubbles and cheering loudly.
It sounds like a massive jungle party.
It totally is. And standing right at the top of the giant water slide, looking down at all those cheering animals, is our main competitor. Her name is Ellie the elephant.
Ah, yes, Ellie.
She is standing so proudly at the top of this massive drop. She's wearing shiny reflective swimming goggles and her bright banana yellow swimsuit. She raises her trunk in the air and declares to the whole jungle, "I was born for this."
He definitely has a lot of confidence, but she's also facing a very tricky physical puzzle here.
How so?
Well, the official judge of these Olympics, a very serious gorilla named Judge Gorilla, he announces the main rule to all the competitors. He tells them that the goal is to slide the farthest distance, but while staying entirely safe.
Now, wait. Looking at the pictures in this book, staying safe seems pretty hard. The author describes this water slide as twisting through the jungle like a wiggly blue snake.
Right.
It zigs and it zags around the trees. And I don't quite get how this works, to be honest. An elephant is incredibly heavy. Like, if you have a giant heavy elephant going down a slippery slide that twists and turns, wouldn't they just fly right off the edge?
That is the big scientific hurdle they have to overcome. It actually comes down to something called momentum.
Oh, momentum, okay.
Yeah. Momentum is a way of measuring how hard it is to stop something that is already moving. Think about rolling a tiny, light ping pong ball across the floor.
Okay, got it.
If you put your hand in front of it, it stops easily, right? It has very little momentum.
But if someone rolled a heavy bowling ball across the floor at the exact same speed and I put my hand in front of it,
that would hurt.
yeah, I probably couldn't stop it with just one hand.
Exactly. The bowling ball has much more mass. It's much heavier, so it has much more momentum. And an elephant is like that bowling ball, but millions of times heavier.
Oh, wow.
So once an elephant starts moving fast down a slide, her body wants to keep moving in a straight line. When the slide suddenly twists like a snake, all that heavy momentum makes it very hard to safely go around the corner without, spilling over the side.
So it's a huge balancing act. They want to go fast enough to win in, but slow enough to actually survive the wiggly blue snake.
Right.
Well, the games begin. The first elephant steps up to the top. They push off, they go down the twists and turns, and then they hit the pool at the bottom. A giant splash. The crowd cheers. It's a totally safe run.
Which shows the slide is functional. For a normal push and a normal speed, the slide works exactly as it was designed to.
But then it is Ellie's turn, our hero in the banana yellow swimsuit.
Here we go.
She steps up to the edge. She adjusts her shiny goggles. She looks down the long, twisty slide. She takes a big, deep breath and shouts, "Here I go." And she pushes off with all her might. Like she gives it the biggest push of the day.
See, the strength of her push at the top really matters. She is adding extra force right at the beginning, which means she's starting out with way more speed than the elephant before her.
And she goes down the slide, and right away the author writes that the wind is whipping past her ears. She is moving faster than any elephant has gone all day. The monkeys up in the trees are leaning so far forward they almost fall out of the branches.
Oh my goodness.
But then, looking at the illustrations, you can see Ellie's face change. She speeds up a little too much. She throws her head back and just yells, "AH, HHH."
Yeah, she is no longer just sliding. She's practically a runaway train at this point.
Totally.
She has built up so much speed and she has so much momentum that the normal stopping area at the bottom of the slide just isn't going to be enough.
It's not. She gets to the bottom, but she doesn't stop. She zooms right past the splash pool. She goes completely past the finish line, sliding all the way across the slippery mud of the jungle floor.
Wow.
She is totally unable to hit the brakes. And right in her path is a giant watermelon stand.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the stopping distance was definitely miscalculated.
It is so messy. She slides straight into the fruit stand. Giant green watermelons bounce and roll absolutely everywhere. Red, sticky watermelon juice splashes into the air.
What a mess.
And when the dust finally settles, there sits Ellie the elephant, completely covered from head to toe in squished watermelon.
Well, I mean, she wanted to go the farthest, and she certainly did, just not in the direction she intended.
Right. And the animals in the crowd, they're totally silent at first. But then the parrots up in the trees just burst out laughing. It's just too silly. And Judge Gorilla, he doesn't yell or panic. He just blinks his eyes, stares at the messy pile of elephant and watermelons, and says calmly, "Well, that was unexpected."
Honestly, that is the best way to handle a failed experiment. When things go wrong, you don't have to panic. You just observe that something surprising happened, and then you try to figure out why it happened so you can fix it.
Have you ever been running really, really fast, like maybe playing tag in your backyard or running down a big grassy hill, and you suddenly realize you are going so fast that you can't actually make your legs stop?
Oh, yeah. That is a scary feeling.
Your feet are moving, but your body is leaning forward, and you end up accidentally bumping into a tree or the couch or your friend just because you couldn't slow down.
Oh.
That out-of-control feeling is exactly what Ellie just felt.
Yeah, your brain is telling your body to stop, but your momentum is just carrying you forward anyway.
Exactly. So Ellie climbs out of this gigantic pile of smashed watermelons. She wipes the red juice off her shiny goggles, and she looks around the jungle and asks what happened. And this is where the book introduces a really fun character.
Oh, Professor Sheldon.
Yes. Professor Sheldon. He is a very smart, very slow-moving turtle. He waddles over to the messy watermelon scene. He carefully pushes his little glasses up his nose, and he explains the science of the crash. He tells Ellie, the water made the slide slippery by reducing friction.
Right, friction. Friction is the invisible force that slows things down when two objects rub against each other. So Professor Sheldon is pointing out that the water on the slide changed the way Ellie's swimsuit rubbed against the plastic.
Okay, I need to stop right here because I don't fully understand this part.
Sure.
Water is wet, right? It sloshes around. If I try to run through a swimming pool, the water is heavy, and it actually slows my legs down. So why does water on a slide make you go faster? Shouldn't it slow Ellie down?
That is a really great observation. Deep water does slow you down because you have to push all that heavy water out of the way to move forward. But a very thin layer of water on a hard surface acts differently. It acts as a lubricant. Like if you were to look at the plastic slide under a powerful microscope, it wouldn't look smooth. It would look bumpy, like a mountain range.
Okay.
And Ellie's swimsuit would also look bumpy. So when she sits on the slide, her bumps catch on the slide's bumps. That grabbing feeling is friction.
So they get tangled up in each other.
Yes. But when you add a thin layer of water, the water fills in all the microscopic valleys on the slide. It basically creates a perfectly smooth liquid barrier between the swimsuit and the plastic.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, her bumps no longer catch on the slide's bumps. The friction is washed away and she just glides right over the top.
Okay, let's try to feel this. If you were listening to this right now, hold your two hands out in front of you, press your palms together really tightly, and rub your hands up and down as fast as you can. Do you feel that?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort to push them back and forth.
And your hands are probably getting warm too. That heat and that invisible pulling feeling, that is friction. Your hands are catching on each other.
Right. And if you were to go to the sink and put slippery soap and water on your hands and then rub them together, they would slide past each other effortlessly.
Oh, yeah, they would.
There wouldn't be any heat, there wouldn't be any grabbing. The soap and water fill in the tiny ridges on your skin, and that is exactly what the water on the slide did to Ellie's swimsuit.
I think I have another way to picture this, too. Imagine you are inside your house and you put on a pair of soft, fuzzy socks. If you take a running start and slide across a smooth wooden floor, you can slide a really long way.
Oh, absolutely.
The soft socks and the smooth floor don't grab each other. That is low friction.
Now imagine taking off those fuzzy socks and putting on a pair of heavy, sticky rubber rain boots.
Oh, boy.
If you try to run and slide across that same wooden floor in those boots, you will not slide at all. Your boots will just squeak loudly and you will stop instantly.
You might even fall forward because your feet stop so fast.
Right. The sticky rubber pushes deep into the floor's surface. That grip is high friction. Friction basically acts like invisible brakes everywhere in the world.
But on the water slide, there were no invisible brakes.
Exactly.
So Professor Sheldon explains this to Ellie. He says, the water reduced the friction, so you moved much faster than you expected. And Ellie nods her big elephant head and says, so less friction means more sliding.
Yep, she gets it.
We know why she crashed. But knowing the science is really only half the battle in this story. They still have a jungle full of elephants who want to slide, and they have a very messy fruit stand.
Right. They need a way to bring the elephants to a safe stop, but without taking away the fun of the slide itself. So Judge Gorilla steps up and declares, we need a safer landing area.
I love what happens next in the book.
Yeah.
The elephants don't just sit around and complain that the slide is broken. They don't ban water slides forever. They team up.
Yeah.
Every animal gets to work to solve the problem using the science Professor Sheldon just explained. They realize they can't change the slide because they still want to go fast, so they change the environment at the bottom.
They basically turn to engineering. They build 3 brand new things to absorb all that heavy elephant momentum.
Let's walk through their inventions because it's pretty clever. First, the elephants grab shovels and dig out a much, much bigger splash pool at the bottom. Now, why does making the pool bigger help? Doesn't the water stop her anyway?
It does, but stopping takes time and distance. Think about riding a bicycle. If you squeeze the brakes gently, you roll forward for a while before coming to a smooth, safe stop.
Right, it's gradual.
Exactly. That is a long stopping distance. If you ride your bike straight into a brick wall, you stop instantly, and, well, it hurts.
Yeah, that would be bad.
A short pool is like the brick wall for a fast-moving elephant. A longer, bigger pool gives the water more space to gently push back against her. It allows her to slow down gradually over a longer distance.
So they are giving her more room to safely lose her speed. Okay, their second invention. The monkeys bring down these giant, soft, floating lily pads and line the edges of the pool with them. They are basically creating a wall of giant jungle pillows.
Right, they're building an energy absorption system.
Wow, fancy words.
Well, if an elephant is moving fast, she carries a lot of energy. If she overshoots the pool again and hits the hard ground, the ground won't move, so all that energy goes right into her body, causing bumps and bruises.
Like jumping off your bed onto a hard wooden floor. Your knees definitely feel it.
Exactly. But if you jump onto a thick mattress, the mattress squishes down. The mattress takes the energy by changing its shape. The soft lily pads do the exact same thing. If Ellie hits them, they compress and squish, safely absorbing the energy of the crash before it can hurt her.
That is brilliant. And they do one more thing. The third invention is extra water sprayers. The elephants use their trunks to build a system that sprays water gently back at the riders right at the end of the slide, just before they hit the pool. Now wait, why spray water at her face? I know we just said a thin layer of water makes her go faster.
Ah, right. A thin layer under her makes her go faster. But a spray of water hitting her directly from the front creates a specific type of friction called drag.
Drag.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to walk outside on a day when the wind is blowing incredibly hard against you?
Yes. You have to lean forward just to take a single step.
Right, because the air is physically pushing against your body. Well, water is much heavier than air. By spraying water directly at Ellie as she comes down, the water pushes against her chest and shoulders. That drag pushes back against her momentum and scrubs off some of her speed before she even reaches the splash pool.
I love how they used observation and teamwork to engineer a completely new landing zone. So the slide is upgraded, the squishy lily pads are in place, the pool is huge, the sprayers are on. It is time for the ultimate test. Ellie the elephant steps back up to the top of the wiggly blue snake. She still has a little bit of sticky watermelon juice on her ear, but she is ready.
She has a lot of trust in the science they just applied.
She pushes off. Down she goes through the twists and turns. The wind rushes past her ears. She's going just as fast as before. But this time, she hits the new water sprayers. The water pushes back on her. She glides into the giant new splash pool. The deeper water slows her down gently, and she lands perfectly, softly, right in the dead center of the pool. No watermelons are harmed.
The engineering worked. They managed her momentum perfectly.
The crowd in the jungle goes wild. The monkeys in the trees are jumping up and down, holding up pieces of bark that say 10 out of 10. The parrots are cheering. The hippos are splashing in the river. It is a massive success.
It just shows that when you understand how the world around you works, you don't have to be afraid of things going wrong. You can just design better systems.
Because of Ellie's brave first run and Professor Sheldon's science lesson, the rest of the day is absolutely perfect. Soon, every single elephant takes a turn sliding down safely. The illustrations show elephants doing spinning tricks, elephants giggling the whole way down and doing massive cannonballs into the deep pool.
They get to experience all the thrill of the speed without the danger of the crash.
At the end of the day, Judge Gorilla hands out the grand prize. Ellie proudly holds up the sparkling golden splash trophy high above her head. She looks out at her friends and cheers, "Best Olympics ever." And Professor Sheldon the turtle smiles, pushes his glasses up, and adds, "an educational tip."
He brings up a wonderful point. Through that first messy crash, everyone learned about the invisible force of friction.
And that's the coolest thing about science for you to remember. Learning how things work, whether it's gravity or momentum or friction, isn't just about memorizing facts from a book. It's a super tool you can use to solve big problems.
Absolutely.
They work together to change their environment so they could keep having fun. When you know how the slide works, you can build the safest, most amazing slide ever.
Which brings me to a final, slightly silly thought for you to think about today.
Oh, I'm ready.
So we spent this whole time talking about how the water washed away the friction to make Ellie go super, super fast.
Right. Less friction equals more sliding speed.
But I want you to imagine the complete opposite. What if you wanted to design a slide with lots and lots of friction? A slide designed to make someone go super, super slow, like slower than a snail.
Oh, that is a fantastic design challenge.
Right. If you were going to build a high-friction, super slow slide in your backyard, what sticky, rough, or bumpy things would you build it out of?
Would you coat it in thick, sticky honey? Would you make it out of scratchy Velcro? Or maybe a big mountain of squishy mud? Next time you're playing outside, think about all the different textures around you and ask yourself, would this make me slide fast like an elephant in a yellow swimsuit? Or would it stop me right in my tracks? Keep wondering, keep experimenting, and always remember to check the bottom of the slide before you let go.